Hey, Mr. Keigan, how are you?
Busy today. How about you?
Oh, super busy. Good, good.
Where are you right now?
I'm in the Apple store. Look, I've been here all day. I just got my phone back
Okay.
and I dropped it yesterday when I was at Sky Zone, the trampoline park,
Yeah.
and the back broke. So they had to replace the entire phone. So they gave me a brand new phone like 5 minutes ago.
Oh
I've been
wow.
waiting the whole time for them to repair it.
Are you in Vegas?
Yeah,
Okay. So you're at home.
yeah.
Awesome. Is there anything coming up that you're planning trip-wise?
I'm going to Dallas. I'm doing the keynote speech in San Antonio
Yeah.
for the National Speakers Association. I'm doing some more filming here in Vegas. I'm teaching in San Francisco for the San Francisco Small Business Development Council and the Public Library. I'm stopping in Nashville to meet some other friends. A lot of travel coming up the next month.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
And I'm still waiting on my passport. So
Come on, let's do it.
awesome. So a couple questions that I was just kind of want to start with, and then a little bit curious about.
Sure.
I talked about it a lot, but like, what's the biggest issue that you see small businesses, specifically younger people, have with digital marketing?
Wow, where do we start? Can we be more specific on the type of small business?
We'll say the typical agency popping up. So like we'll say cold email or short form or anything along those lines.
We focus more on flexing than on actually delivering and being able to operationally fulfill, get work done. Usually when it's started by a young adult, that young adult is the figurehead. And because they might be eloquent enough to be able to sell, because they're motivated, because they see other people that are doing it, they don't realize they have to build a team. And without systems and processes and teams, then whoever is the salesperson closing deals, because that's the glamorous thing, is also the person who has to do the work. And the work needs to be done by other people. Because if you're the one doing the work, you don't have an agency or a consultant.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Fair enough.
scaling up what you do to be repeatable. I see a lot of these cold email, social media, video repurposing, short form, Facebook ads, TikTok, these sorts of agencies. They put out something that's a feature. Like the feature is they do high level. The feature is they do Google ads. The feature is they do short form video. But that doesn't apply to a particular customer. And when you don't do it for a particular customer, you end up doing it for nobody. And so the specialization by a tool or by a function is not the same thing as solving a problem for a particular type of customer. Let me give you an example. My friend Welton Hong runs Ring Ring Marketing. I coached him for 6-7 years and he just services funeral homes. He's got maybe 300 clients that pay him a couple $1,000s a month. So he's coming up on 7 figures a month of
Yeah.
recurring revenue. But he services just funeral homes because he knows funeral homes really well and he knows how to drive leads. That's why it's called Ring Ring Marketing. His retention rate is 99% a month. So
Okay.
he's doing really well. He's got a solid reputation. You go to any conference with funeral homes and he's well known. In fact, there's no other choice, really, that he's the obvious choice. If you're a funeral home, he's the guy. But
Okay.
contrast that, if he decided that he wanted to be a Google PPC guy, or he wanted to be a ClickFunnels guy, or be like whatever, then he has no appeal for any particular customer type, which means A, it's tough to market, and B, it's tough to deliver. Because if you're doing cold email for 10 different clients and each client is in a different industry, you actually have 10 different agencies.
Yeah. Okay. 100%. So I mean, basically that kind of goes back to like the lighthouse model that you talk about all the time is obviously
Mhm.
find the top person, whoever it is in a given industry, and then just kind of go down from there.
Yeah. Because when you take in the top person, all the people that are in that same industry want the same thing.
Gotcha. And so I know that we talked about this a few times, but for anybody else that doesn't know the lighthouse method or what that is, can you just describe it a little bit and how would you get started if you had to start from zero, no network, no connections, anything like that?
Well, Keigan, I'd love to hear you describe it.
Okay. So the lighthouse model is, as I just mentioned, it's finding the top player, person, business in any industry. So as an example, we'll say sports teams in North America, we could go with the top NBA team. So that could be the Golden State Warriors. So you try and connect with them, say you work with them, get them as a client. Now everybody else is going to follow because you're trusted, you're credible because you're working with them. You must know what you're doing.
That's right. So we had the Golden State Warriors as our client for 5.5 years, and it was great. And there was no need to ever sell them because the guy who became the CMO, the first day he got that job, he called me. And Kenny Lauer and I have been friends prior to that for like another 10 years. So we've known each other a really long time. So it's all based on relationships. A lot of young adults don't understand the power of building these relationships. And you don't have to be old. It doesn't take a long time to build good relationships. But because of what happened with the Warriors and us, coming in with the CMO with the client and us getting access to all the analytics, think about this. The Golden State Warriors are basically a San Francisco team. And that means that Google employees want to come to the game. Google employees want to see the Warriors do well. Mark Zuckerberg wants to see the Warriors succeed with Facebook. Samsung is there. So I would fly into San Francisco every couple of weeks, and I would meet with the folks from Instagram, Google, Samsung, Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, because they would want to roll out new tests for the Warriors. They're not going to roll it out for the Cleveland Cavaliers. They're going to roll it out for their local team because they're going to come over and visit. I remember one Saturday morning, we were over at the practice facility and all the players were practicing, which is really kind of cool. And there's no like fans or whatever, because it's a private sort of thing. So, I'm I'm part of the coaching team in a way, so they give me sort of this special access. And there was some YouTube at Google, YouTube part of Google, some of these YouTube employees. And we were talking about, wouldn't it be really cool if we could live stream some of these Warriors games? And I thought, that's really cool. And they said, yeah, let's do that. In fact, we'll do that. And we'll donate all the time and the people and all that. And we'll give you $50,000 of Google ad credits to be able to promote that. And all right, we're going to use $50,000. I could probably turn that into $1 million worth of ticket sales, probably like, 1 to 20, like 20 ROAS. And I remember I was at Facebook one time and they made some new, like Samsung was there, and they came up with these virtual reality glasses, these Oculus glasses, where you could see around the court as if you were like right there in the middle of the court. And we were seeing like, well, when should we show the player stats? Or when do you turn to the side and you could like buy ice cream or other stuff, or like things not related to the game, and then back to follow a player, look at their stats, see how many miles per hour, how many inches they're jumping, the 37-degree arc of Steph Curry's free throw, or like replay scenes. And so I'm having an incredible experience, Keigan, because it's a Lighthouse client. And because of that, all the other sports teams said, wow, Dennis and his team are doing a fantastic job, and they help us. So the folks in the Chicago Bulls, the Houston Rockets, the Cleveland Cavaliers, the LA Lakers, all these guys came to us and said, hey, can you help us fix our Facebook ads? Can you help us figure out, what's going on with our Ticketmaster conversion tracker? So all of that is inbound. So you see the difference, Keigan, between those teams, those ideal clients coming to me versus me like trying to get a meeting with these other people.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the difference with the Lighthouse.
Exactly.
We documented it. Mark Zuckerberg talked about a case study that first year. We spent $1 million and we drove $38 million approval Ticketmaster ticket revenue. So Ticketmaster is talking about what we did. And I spoke at conferences all over the world talking about the Warriors. I would log in, you can even go to YouTube and see. I would log, how many times have you ever seen this program? I'd log into the Facebook ad account of the Warriors and I'd say, let's see how many tickets these fans enjoy. Let's look at how the ads are structured. Have you ever seen anybody do that at a conference for a major company logging in? Let's go log into the Google Analytics and see how many people joined our email list today, right? Oh, we have 3.6 million people on the email list. We have 35,000 season ticket holders or whatever it might be. Like, let's see how our ads are performing. Let's see how we rank on certain keywords. Let's see. So you never do that. You never see someone log in, like live, into a big account and show off the stats, right?
Yeah.
And so then I learned that the power of the Lighthouse is not me logging in and doing that. I'd have the head of digital marketing. I'd have the head of social media in the Warriors log in present at the conference, do a webinar, speak on stage, and that made me look good. That's the power of the lighthouse. The lighthouse does the marketing for you if you do a good job, if you document how you do it.
Of course. Of course. And I mean, that goes back to like why the whole lighthouse thing is why you frown upon cold outreach too, because on top of that, you also lose credibility. I mean, I know I've been guilty of it. That's how I've essentially gotten to where I'm at right now in the business, is strictly through cold outreach and then delivering for clients. But it puts you in a position where it's like on a call, you have to sell them because you're convincing somebody to get on a call, like to work with you, whatever it is, because there's just the whole process. You're not credible in any sort of way. So it screws the relationship right from the start unless you really over deliver and clients.
But if I'm looking at hiring Keigan Carthy, and let's say I know something about, what are good clients that say, it's someone I know and respect, I'm still going to Google you. But what will I find when I Google Keigan Carthy and vision management? Hockey stuff, not even think about nothing demonstrating digital marketing expertise, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
But if you Google me, you see lighthouse after lighthouse after lighthouse.
Exactly.
And I want everyone to see that.
Yeah.
And I want the clients to do the talking for me.
And I think, honestly, with a lot of like the cold email marketing, short form SEO is like at the bottom of everybody's list. But it's crazy, like you just mentioned, it's like even if you cold outreach somebody, you get somebody on a sales call, like you said, they're going to Google you at the bare minimum. And again, I'm there's nothing that shows up for me or the business SEO wise, and it's like that for 99% of the business too, where it's like you couldn't find them if you looked for them.
Yeah, it's incredible. So if you're a pro at social media and video, I should see a ton of your stuff on social media, and I should see a ton of your videos.
Yeah.
Where are they, right? If you're a pro at golf, I should see you hitting golf balls all the time, right? I should see you doing the thing that you claim to be an expert in.
Yep, 100% right. It's crazy. Like I've been working on the WordPress site and still doing like going through a course on SEO, and I'm learning more and more the power that truly holds. Like if you can even a name Google, especially mine, because it's rare, where it's like Keigan Carthy can rank very easily. But even if it gets to somebody searches short form video help and my name pops up, the power that has will be endless.
You would think, and that's mostly true, but not really in your case. Yeah, let me explain why. So when Facebook ads came out in May 2007, I was very lucky. I was one of the first ones there for various reasons, because I was in Silicon Valley as well. And so I started getting really good at Facebook ads because there was no one else doing it. And the system was so simple that I instantly became the top guy in the world at Facebook ads because there was no one else doing it, right? And I wrote articles about it. I gave speakers about it. It was still very, very new. And if you Googled Facebook ads, my result was number 2. Number 1 was facebook.com/ads, which is Facebook's own sign-up page if you want to sign up for Facebook ads. So I held that for quite some time. And can you imagine, a couple years later, I'm getting hundreds of leads per day, hundreds of people every day saying, hey, I'd love to hop on the phone with you and see if maybe you could help my business with Facebook ads. It would be like a barber shop. It would be some international clothing manufacturer, some random person who has an idea, some kid who wants to start an agency, like just any kind of business you can imagine. I was getting flooded with these requests because I ranked number 2 on Facebook ads. Do you think that's a good thing?
I mean, it depends how you look at it. I mean, probably not.
It was terrible. I mean, you would think it's a good thing, right?
Say that again.
You would think it's a good thing, right? Getting hundreds of leads, these thousands of these people reaching out, wanting to hire me. Why wouldn't that be a good thing?
But it's because you want to work with a certain client, and it's kind of like goes back to the light effect.
Right. And so 95%, 99% of the people reaching out were people we just couldn't service.
Yeah.
Because they were a startup, they were some kind of software company, they didn't have any money, there was no proven model, I didn't have a lighthouse in that category. So we just got what was called the dog's breakfast, which is the random assortment of the internet, versus the people I want to work with are one of 2 categories. One is big brands. So I love working with Nike and Microsoft and Quiznos and Red Bull, Starbucks. Those guys are so much fun to work with because they have a lot of money and they do a lot of cool things. I mean, hey, I'll just admit it, it's a lot of fun. You know, go to
Yeah.
Nike and I get free shoes. Like, why wouldn't I want that? Right. And then number two, I like working with lighthouses, the people who are the top in the industry. So I don't want to work with, no offense, I don't want to work with some random garage door guy. I want to work with the number one guy, like Tommy Mello. I don't want to work with some random attorney. I want to work with the number one personal injury attorney that all the other personal injury attorneys want to be like. They don't like it. So those are the two things I want. I want big brands that are easy to work with, and I want the figureheads in each industry. So of all the people that are coming in, what's the probability that either of those conditions are going to be true? Almost zero. And what am I supposed to do? Either ignore them or get on the phone with them and give them a free 30-minute consult? I can't do that. I did thousands of free consultations just because I wanted to be nice to these people. And these people are trying to give me money and I can't service them.
Yeah.
I would, maybe send some off to friends or other people that ran different kinds of agencies. I was thinking about creating like a directory, like, hey, all my friends who are social media, short form video, whatever agencies, put your name in the list. And then if stuff comes in, I'll just push them your way. But I didn't really have time to do that. And the people who wanted the leads weren't really qualified anyway. Because if you're good at marketing, then you don't need referrals. You don't need me to give you. If you're good at marketing, then you're doing a good job with your clients and people are already talking about you. So it's a catch-22.
100%. And so we've talked about before how to get started in a lighthouse and to find kind of that first person in industry, to open that door, is it a mentor or is it just kind of like working your way up sort of thing and eventually getting to like the top person, top brand?
Well, I'll tell you from my experience, it's always been a mentor. I was super lucky because I had the CEO of American Airlines as a mentor almost 30 years ago. And because of that, he opened doors to people I would never be able to meet. And even if I made it to the top in some other kind of career, I had instant access to the very top, which is just huge. I met CEOs of their companies, which then generated all kinds of deals. Stuff I probably didn't deserve, I didn't earn, but because I just happened to be there. And Raytheon, a multi-billion-dollar defense company, needed an intranet, and I happened to be there. It's like, Dennis can build your intranet. Okay, yeah, I'll build your intranet. Right? Or, we put Cartier, which is a jewelry company, put them on the internet. That was almost 30 years ago. And that was all because of connections. Like everything I had was, and you've heard, it's not who you know, it's who knows you and that kind of thing. Now I've heard stories of people who they hustle really hard and eventually they're able to work their way to the top and get a big client. But maybe that is true, but I've never seen it really happen. I see a lot of young adults, especially, take on random clients, thinking that if they just keep working hard enough, eventually they will be successful. And I love that approach. I love the people that wake up in the morning at 5 o'clock. I can't do that. But my experience from seeing thousands of young adults start agencies is that doesn't work. I mean, maybe there's the 1% exception, LeBron James, but everyone else is like trying to become a pro and they're not. For every one LeBron James, there's 100,000 people that don't make it. Let me explain why that doesn't work. When you start as a new agency, you're hungry for business and you want to take on anybody. I mean, take on your mom. Maybe she's got a business, your mom's friend or someone else, or, you're cold calling all these random people and you need to make enough money to pay rent if you haven't moved out of your mom's house or whatever it is, right? And so you end up getting this combination of random clients. You get a restaurant, you get a hairdresser, you get an attorney, you get a software company, you end up, you're trying to get, because the idea is like, well, I just need to get some business. I just need to get some experience. So someone has some money and, initially, let's say you started out, your expertise was short form video, right? But let's say you don't have any clients. So someone else says, yeah, I need short form video, but I need a website too. Can you do that? Like, yeah, I could do that. Okay, cool. Well, I need a TikTok. I need HubSpot. So, okay, yeah, I can do that. They just end up saying yes to all this stuff. And then every one of these clients is a random custom deal. Pretty soon you have 5 or 6 of these random clients. You can't keep track of them. You can't hire other people and sub it out because you are ingrained in the details of that custom relationship. So it requires you because you didn't document it. You didn't bring on these people ahead of time because you didn't have the money to hire these people. So you ended up just saying, yeah, well, maybe if I get the money, then I'll go hire these people. You hire someone on Fiverr and they do a crappy job. So it just ends up being a dead end. And a lot of people in that situation, you can look at like Gavin Lear, an empathy firm, where they took on a bunch of these random clients in random situations. They think the way to get out of that model where all these clients are churning on you and demanding refunds because they're not able to deliver because you said yes to everything. They think the answer, Keigan, is to sell more. What do you think happens when you're in that situation? You're not delivering. You're good at selling, but you haven't been able to deliver. Every client's random. There's no clear business model. And you think the way out is to sell more clients. What do you think happens?
You're just going to churn and burn because like eventually you're just going to burn through. You're going to
ruin your reputation.
Exactly.
You ruin your reputation. You have to fix your core offer. You have to fix your ability to deliver first.
Yeah.
And that means doing one thing really well. So in America, we have In-N-Out Burger, right?
Yeah.
When you come out, we'll go to In-N-Out. People love it. I think it's okay, but it's like a cult-like thing around this hamburger place, okay? The lines are insane, even at 2 a.m. So In-N-Out is famous for making these hamburgers. And they don't make pizza, they don't make spaghetti, they don't make steak, they don't make ribs, they don't do whatever. They just do these hamburgers. And so you should focus, if you're a young adult and you're one person, you should focus on the one thing that you can do repeatedly, document it. Like think of your, Chick-fil-A, I don't know. Think what is your favorite place to eat? What is your favorite company? The odds are they do this one thing really well, and they don't try to do 50 other things. So do it for do one service for one industry and have one package. That's what you have to do. If you don't do that, and the reason why young adults don't do that is, well, I don't want to limit myself. Because if I offer 15 different services, I can make more money, right? And instead of going just at one niche like dentists, well, I'm going to offer to all these other niches. That just, all that does is get you in trouble. And it's very, like the people who are successful agencies, I know hundreds of agencies that are 7-figure plus. And they all agree the biggest problem, to answer your question, Keigan, is young adults that try to do everything instead of niching down to one kind of customer and offering one kind of service with one package.
Okay. That makes a ton of sense because I know personally, like I still kind of have the issue, but I'm slowly getting away from it. But there's one point where I had like 35 clients and maybe 2 of them each were in the same industry. So it was constantly just like back and forth, researching more on the niche, trying to understand it. But I had no clue, like life insurance guys to fitness coaches to yada, yada, yada. And it was just
it's all different.
You just get into trouble. And it's like, I wasn't able to perform to those clients. But now it's like, now that I have a core of genuine businesses that I understand, I'm able to do a way better job for them. And same with my team.
Yeah. So Caleb Williams is the top speaker for NAFA, the National Association of Insurance and Financial Advisors. So all the insurance agents in the United States, they go to this conference. This is the largest organization, the oldest organization. And because Caleb is a shining example, as someone who sells life insurance, he can sell other life insurance agents on this because he is a high producing life insurance agent. Now, if I were to try to do marketing for a life insurance agent, let's say even if I knew how to do it, I wouldn't have any credibility because who's going to be more credible, a high producing life insurance agent or me who does all kinds of stuff?
Yeah.
Right? So then what I do is I use Caleb as my lighthouse, and he was my original client 6 years ago or whatnot. He implemented $1 a day, 1-minute videos. He started his podcast, started repurposing content, became a keynote speaker, did a speaker reel, has his #1 best-selling book. He has all those items that we do when we help personal brands. And now he's able to sell products to other life insurance. So A, he's a successful life insurance agent with the whole team. But B, because of that, he's able to sell marketing programs to other life insurance agents because they respect that he's a life insurance agent too. So we're able to sell under his brand, not my brand. And so I sell under lots of other people's brands because they are the lighthouse. The beauty is once you have that lighthouse, you don't have to sell under your name anymore. I'm going to sell under the name that's already well known. Why wouldn't I? Because imagine, Keigan, let's say technically, it's sort of a stretch, but let's say that I actually built the very best, hockey skate, for example, right? It was like the lightest and the fastest. I don't know, whatever. I know nothing about hockey, but let's just say that for some reason that, I built undeniably, according to the best hockey players in the world, the best hockey skate, right?
Yeah.
And then we called it, Dennis's hockey skate. Well, you could call it Dennis's hockey skate, but what if I then licensed it to Bauer, right?
Yeah.
And then Bauer or Nike was then selling the skate, and all the famous athletes were wearing my skate, but they didn't even know that I was the one who built the ice skate. What's more powerful, Dennis's skate or Bauer's new skate?
Exactly. Bauer, 100%.
I'd put it under the lighthouse. So I always put stuff under the lighthouse. And then guess what happens when you put it under the lighthouse? The lighthouse brand has more power. The lighthouse brand has a bigger list. The lighthouse brand is more trusted. The lighthouse brand, but these young adults feel like they have to make up a name. So they spend all this time worrying about their name and their logo and the colors. No one gives a shit about any of that. They care about whether you can deliver. So most people, when they start their business, they're worried about all this nonsense. It's just pure vanity. Focus on delivery. It doesn't matter what the name of your agency is. Vision management, what the hell does that mean? Deliver. All we care about is, can you deliver it, right?
Exactly. And that's like the biggest thing. And first few months in, I mean, I'm still less than a year in. I'm still figuring everything out. But before, it was always came down to just, I sell more, I'll make more money. Never understood why clients didn't want to work with me. I'm like, I'm doing an okay job. Like, could be worse. Like, but then it's like, now that it's started to properly deliver, started to implement genuine strategies and increase my credibility, it's night and day with how business is just all together. Like, it's as cliche as everybody says, deliver for your clients first, and then everything else will come. That rings true and that hits home every single time.
And I'm so proud of you, because not only are you doing that with the short form video, and that's great that you produced the video, that you're boosting those posts so they generate traffic and it generates real business results for your clients. And now your clients are happy. Guess what? They're going to continue to pay. So even people that are like you, Keigan, initially and were successful in being able to sell and deliver against short form video, you still have this issue of churn. Well, okay, great. You made all these videos. Now what? Maybe they'll do it again for another month. Or they'll do it again for another month or two, but then they churn on you. You know what the average churn is on social media and short form agencies?
60 to 90 days.
Yeah. And I would think on short form, the renewal is single digits. It's super low. You get the money for the initial package. And so I get that. So when I see short form video folks struggling, they think, well, I know these guys churn out, so I'm going to try to get as much as I can up front, because I know they're going to churn out.
Yeah.
And all that does is reinforce, because then who's going to want to pay another 10 grand for month 2 and month 3? You know what the answer is, because you want to deliver value. Well, guess what? After you produce the video, you got to run ads so it's actually being seen.
Exactly.
And now they'll continue to pay you every month instead of, I got to make more videos every month or 2 hours every month and whatever. Like, no one wants to do that. I don't care if you have this great process where I just need 2 hours a month and we'll make videos. They don't want to do that. I don't even want to do that.
I don't want to do that either. And I run the agency itself. It's just want the videos, I want the winners, and then just push the ads against, and then just watch the business roll in.
Yeah, if you've got winning ads, why do you keep making new videos? Like Eric, who's the CEO of Zoom. I mean, Zoom became a multi-billion-dollar company during COVID.
Yeah.
Even he said he's tired of Zoom. That's the freaking CEO of Zoom. 8 Zoom calls a day. That's what he said.
Yeah, I believe that. No, the ad strategy of the $1 a day and the entire thing, that is honestly, for anybody doing video, they need to implement that. It's business changing, it's life changing, seriously, and it's unbelievably simple to do. Like, I've documented everything, created SOPs. I'm hiring out account managers this week to do. It is so easy to do, and it requires nothing up front as well. Like, it's literally $30 per platform, and then a little bit of extra to add some fuel to the fire on the one that wins, and then you go from there.
Here's a very little secret that you know, but most young adults don't know. When you start a short form agency and you start bringing in these clients, and these clients believe that there's social media because the social media works, because you're a young adult and you must understand all the stuff that I'm too old. I don't even understand, right? So they trust you in the process. You sit down on Zoom or whatever, make a series of these videos, your team processes it. Let's assume that you have a team of videos and you're able to do all that and get it posted. There's no traffic because most clients, they don't have any sort of following on Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, or whatever it is. So even though your content's amazing, it gets no reach. So I love working with the big brands because when we do a campaign for Nike, organically, it's going to work, right?
Yep.
When LeBron James posts something, it's going to work, right?
Yep.
So that's also why I like working with bigger clients. But to your point, if you're working with clients who are not big, and let's say you do a good job repurposing that video, you've got to use $1 to get some reach. Now, if you know who their audience is, who their target audience is, which you already should know if you're making the video, right? If you're already repurposing the video, you already know their strategy, goals, content targeting. Then the next natural step for whoever's posting the video is to run ads against it. They can't, the client shouldn't hire another agency to run ads because whoever's crafting the video, the strategy of what the topics are, deciding what the hooks are and the cut points and what the calls to action are, is best positioned to run ads. Because it's not that you're good at editing video. It's that you understand the strategy of that business because you've done life insurance agents over and over and over again. So if you start with a strategy that leads naturally to the content production being tracked up and running ads, then you're going to be able to measure that. And because you know it works for one life insurance agent, you can repeat that for 100 others. And now you've got skill.
Yep. 100%. And again,
if you hire the VAs, if you have the SOPs, if you recognize up front that it can't be you all the time, even if you wake up at 5 a.m, everybody, you can't do it all yourself.
Yeah,
that's how you win.
100%. 100%. And like me personally, in regards to not doing everything yourself, it was honestly a realization when I was gone last weekend, a couple weekends, whatever it was. And I just wanted to take a break for a weekend and see what happened and then come back. And it was just putting out fires left, right, and center. And then it was like, okay, it's time to really hire out because I need to do tasks that move the needle forward rather than just maintenance all day, especially when it's fairly task. Like it's not very complicated at the end of the day. It's a lot of people getting like, trapped in basically their entrepreneurship, their agency, whatever it turns into a job. Mm-hmm. For me, the majority of the reason I wanted to be an entrepreneur is because I don't want to work for anybody. I always wanted to work for myself. But when it turns into working 8-10-hour days, like 7 days a week, 30 days a month, whatever it is, I'm basically working a job. But it's
actually worse. You know why being an agency owner is worse than having a job as an employee? When you're an employee, you just have one boss. When you have an agency, how many bosses do you have? This whole like work 4 hours on the beach in Bali with just your laptop, running a social media agency. That's a lie. The only people that say that are the people that make money off of selling you that program. Okay, so what you do, you're good at selling, right? You get people on this 15-minute discovery call and you talk to them about their thing and eventually you sell them on your program, right? Well, guess what? You can do that. But then you need to have two other roles. You need to have account managers to do the ongoing operations and onboarding. And you need these workers to do fulfillment. And they're the ones that edit the video, build web pages, do analytics, send out reports and whatnot. So I consider them waiters and cooks, people that talk to the clients, people that work behind the scenes in the kitchen. And so if you're out there selling, you can keep selling and doing webinars and closing and all that. And then once you close someone, then that client has to fill out this onboarding form, everything about their business, about getting access, these different things. Of course, you pre-record these videos saying, welcome, this is Keigan Carthy. I'm so glad you got my super duper package, right? And what we're going to do over the next 3 weeks is this onboarding sequence. You're going to give us access to your Facebook, to your website, to blah, blah, blah. You're soon going to see an email from your account manager. Her name is Kathy, and Kathy's going to work with you. We're going to set up a meeting every week to talk about, for 5 minutes, what your status is. And you can expect once we get this initial 3 weeks of whatever done, we're going to, record a 1-hour Zoom. And this is how we're going to prepare. Before we do this, we're going to need these particular things. We're going to ask you a series of questions like this. Once we finish doing that video together, in a week later, our team's going to come back with the transcript and what we think are the key points in your video that we're going to then turn into things on your Facebook and Twitter and blah, blah, blah. And so you're pre-recording, you're pre-framing the process and setting expectations so they know that once they're done with you, because you sold them, you're the figurehead. There's a natural handoff to the account manager. So from here on out, Rebecca is going to be the one. Usually it's like a young female. Is going to be the one that is going to take care of you. And now, of course, I'm here at the strategy level. I'm overseeing everything. And then we have other people that the account manager is interfacing with to make sure we're editing videos the right way and whatnot. So if you let people know that, then you can continue to do what you're doing without having to worry about operations or credit cards failing or clients complaining, because the clients know that they need to go to Kathy or whoever it is. But if you don't have any account managers, who's the account manager?
Me.
You are. You are. Yeah. So the thing is, it costs money to hire an account manager.
Yep.
It costs money to hire video editors. And if you've never, if you haven't documented how you want to do videos, then you can't hire video editors because they won't do it the right. They'll do it their way, which is not the way you want to do it.
Exactly.
And, once you get to about 10 clients, depending on how much you charge, is when you need to have an account manager.
Okay.
When you're doing north of 15 to 20,000, like definitely when you're past 20,000 a month, you need to have an account manager.
And see, that's where I'm kind of in that range right now. And like I mentioned, like I'm pulling like 12-hour days. Like it's ridiculous. I'm just sitting here staring at my computer, just basically fulfillment outside of the video editing. And I've just spent basically the past few days, just like you said, recording all the SOPs. I've had 3 interviews already for account managers and everything like that. And I'm happy to get my time back and actually put like my effort and some time into moving the needle forward.
You want to know something crazy? Last week, we hired 3 more account managers.
Okay.
From Pakistan. I mean, you can hire account managers from anywhere. I don't care where they're from, but we happen to hire 3 from Pakistan. And these guys are incredible. They have great English. They're on top of the details. They work super hard. They prepare the weekly reports. They've gone through our account manager training. They have to score a certain 45 out of 50 or whatever to be able to pass. Like they've done everything and they're doing a great job on accounts that are spending more than $10,000 a month with us. Even one of the clients is spending $35,000 a month with us with their retainer. And that's so big that I have just one account manager taking care of that one client instead of one account manager having like 20 clients. Obviously, the accounts are bigger. You have fewer account managers.
Of course.
How much money do you think these account managers make? They're good account managers.
I would go probably
they run Zoom calls. How much?
$2 US a month.
$380 a month. How much is your time worth, Keigan?
Yeah.
So I saw that and I said, whoa, wait a minute. That's a level 1 pay. So we have a 9-level system. So they started at level 1, which is basically like $380, $400 a month. I said, you guys are so amazing. Like you could look up these people. You could see they're the ones that Sana and Manal and Timur, and now I just hired Jacob, who's from the United States, who costs me a little bit more. These guys, they started super low, but after a week, they've done so well. Like those 3 account managers that were at $380, they're at $1,400 now at level 4. And then level 5 is like $2,000, and it just goes up. And our leveling system, there's clear requirements on what they have to do to meet those levels. Basically, those requirements are not arbitrary. They're in alignment with client success. So when the client stats are going up, when the clients are happy and they mark things, we have these things that go out. Hey, how are we doing on a scale of 1 to 5? The whole, like you at a restaurant or Yelp, like rate the thing 1 to 5.
Yep.
So the ratings determine, of course they should be, right? Yep. It's gamification. So these guys are making money. They're referring in other friends. We're hiring a bunch of people, and account managers are training up other account managers. You know how an account manager makes more money in our system once they become a solid account manager?
No.
They train up and hire other account managers. So if you want to move from level 4 to level 5, you have to train up 3 other account managers, 3 project managers at level 3 to then become account managers at level 4, to become people managers hired by at level 5. There's this whole system. So for you to advance, let's say, Keigan, you're level 3 project manager.
Yeah.
And you're making $1,000 a month, which is not bad in the Philippines, right? But you would like to make $1,400. I mean, that's a good jump to go from $1,000 to $1,400, right? You want to go from level 3 to level 4 in that system. How motivated are you to be able to help some of these other people that are stuck currently at level 1 or level 2 in the system be able to move up to level 3 doing the job that you've been doing for the last month or so? How motivated are you to help them?
Gonna be a lot more motivated.
And who do you think would do a better job at helping these other people level up? Me, I'm busy doing all kinds of other stuff. Or
Yep.
someone else who already is an account manager and is a peer like them.
Obviously,
yeah, we want someone who's just wherever you are. Let's say you're level 5. We want someone who is just 1 or 2 levels above to be able to help you. If you're a level 1 and you're brand new, you just started, you don't help from a level 9 like me, because that doesn't really make any sense. You want help from like a level 2 or level 3, right?
Yeah.
And so that starts to work when you have more than 15 people.
Okay.
Leveling system. Now, if you only have like 2 or 3 people, then the levels kind of don't make any sense, because there needs to be enough people where people can see that there's movement going up, right? When you have hundreds of people like we do, it's clear because other people can see the path up, because I can see these other people that are just a level or 2 above me. And just because someone else moves a level up, that's not like they got ahead of me. That's not like they got the promotion I didn't. There's unlimited opportunity for people to move up.
Okay.
In a regular corporation, there's like only so many spots. So you and I are like competing for this one spot. It's not like that at all, because it's all based on the performance. As long as we can increase the performance of the underlying client, we can make more money. So everything we have in our system is about having people tied towards the client performance.
Okay. So like you said, everything performance-based, basically. The better the job they do for the clients, the more chance they have to move up.
Well, let me ask you this. Let's say you agree, or tell me if you do or not. You agree that, do you agree? I don't want to put words in that, Keigan. Do you agree that it makes sense that the compensation that your people have should be based on how successful the clients are?
Yes, I do agree.
Okay, good. Well, then, are you measuring how successful the clients are? How are you measuring that? How many videos are going out? How many leads they're getting? What are you measuring? Because if you're doing short form video and you're not measuring the client's business result, but you're measuring like how many TikToks are posted, or how many Twitter tweets there are, or whatever, that's not the business result.
Yeah.
But if you're tying to their actual sale, or the actual lead, or the actual thing that makes them money, and then you tie that to how your people are getting paid, now you have incentive alignment. That's what we like to do. But that's why we have this measurement. That's why we have boosted. Fine, you could pay if you pay people, let's say they're a really good video editor, and you pay them just on how many videos they edited per day, then they would just edit as many videos as they could, and they wouldn't even know if they're any good or not.
Yeah.
Because there was no measurement about whether the videos actually had an impact.
Okay.
And then it's a matter of, well, I did 5 videos today. Oh yeah? Well, I did 6 videos. Who gives a shit how many videos you edited? How well did they perform? Yeah, of course you're going to measure the output volume, but you want to measure the business result at the same time. And that's where mid-size agencies get in trouble. Like the small agencies don't even have the structure, because they don't even have the people or the SOPs.
Yeah.
But once you then get past that point of having some SOPs, like maybe a little further along where you are right now, but you're pretty close, you're like almost there. Then the next step is, because this step where you're at right now is just, if you have an SOP, you're measuring how many things people are doing today, which is great. You have to do that.
Yeah.
But the next step is, let's measure the impact. So inside the Google Analytics, are we measuring their leads? Are we measuring, their rankings? Are we measuring their sales? Are we measuring something, right?
Yeah.
Beyond just how many videos did we post, or how many impressions did we get, or what got the highest engagement? Engagement, if engagement was equal to money, then a lot of the people I know that are driving Uber would be retired, but they're still driving Uber. There's one girl, 6.5 million followers on TikTok. She's driving Uber. So engagement doesn't equal money, which is the whole dirty lie of, social media and all that, right? We care about sales. And so when you position your agency, you're not just there doing Alex Hormozy style videos, because anybody inside can do that. You understand their strategy. And because you do that, you can charge 5 times more, 10 times more, because you understand that business's strategy. The business doesn't want to hear about, do you use Premiere, or can you do Alex Hormozy style TikToks? They want to know, can you create short form video that actually reflects their business strategy in their industry, that we've done it for other companies in that industry, and you can drive business results. You care about measuring the business result, not on how many likes you get on Instagram.
I know exactly what you mean. That makes complete
Now,
sense.
now you're talking the business language. Now you're talking to a business owner and the way they want to be talked to.
Yeah.
They don't know what an Instagram reel is. They don't care.
Nope. It's just if it makes the money at the end of the day. And it's the toughest thing about doing short form video or any sort of video, it seems like it's converting that into leads is the most difficult part, because a ton of people will just sit there and just scroll forever on whatever platform they're on. But it's being able to get somebody to stop on the video, consider it, and then get them to buy or whatever it may be it's truly a skill.
Is it? I have a shortcut to that. You want to know what it is? Because I get it. Like there's some kind of skill to being able to create hooks to get people's attention, right? That's what you said. There's some kind of skill to being able to persuade and convert someone to sign up, become a lead or buy, right? Yeah, okay. There's some skill in doing that. But if you're working with a different set of clients, how can you, and each one has a different way of attracting attention, has a different value proposition, for their ideal customer profile, USP, whatever whatever acronym you want to use towards how do they sell down the different stages of the funnel. I have one simple tip that has served me very, very well. It's made me millions of dollars. It's this. Take someone who already has content and performs against a particular audience. Right? Whatever their offer is against a particular pain point and a particular customer base. If they already have that, you've already won, because then it's a matter of just assembling ingredients in the right way. If you're taking on a client and you don't have clarity on what exactly people are buying from that client, proof, not just like they think they will, but tons of proof. Like for the Golden State Warriors, when we took them on, I could see exactly who was buying and why. Yeah. So I found the winning creatives. I didn't have to spend all this money testing. I didn't have to come up with new ideas. I didn't have to be creative. I found stuff that was already working. Yeah. Because they tried all kinds of random young things. Oh, family 4-pack, mom and dad and 2 kids, and you get 4 hot dogs and you can choose 4 games and it's $400. Yeah. Didn't work. People didn't want to do that. Or deals for box seats, or discounts on parking, or bobblehead night. I didn't have to try to figure out what I thought would work, because I went back to look at the stats and I could easily see what was working. We did a campaign for Starbucks. Starbucks, Frappuccino. Yep. They spent $14 million with us on promoting Frappuccino. Now, most people think, well, let's come up with all these ideas of what we can do for Frappuccino. Like what we could have a thing where if the temperature goes above 100 degrees, then buy one, get one free Frappuccinos. What a great idea, right? Yeah. We did that. And we tried other sorts. We said, in California, where there's a greater Hispanic population, let's do the caramel macchiato, because that's more of a Hispanic kind of flavor. It feels more towards like teenagers. Let's try to get teenagers in during the afternoon, because typically Starbucks, we're selling during the morning because people are trying to get their caffeine thing. So let's try to get more sales during the afternoon. Let's push Frappuccino. So all these people are coming with all these ideas. And then meanwhile, I said, well, let's look at the data. I mean, these are all great ideas, but look at the data. Who's actually buying Frappuccino? And I did a little research on Facebook, and I found what was working. And I said, here's a winning creative. Here's some winning phrases against this winning audience. We already have the answer. And that's what we did. And we drove tons of sales off of it. We took creatives we took an offer and a creative that already worked against an audience that already worked. So I only take on clients if they have an offer that works against an audience that works. Because if they don't have that alignment, then guess what? You're not doing advertising or short form video or video editing. You are actually trying to build their business. You're trying to figure out their strategy. If their strategy is in place, it is very easy to win. Here's the point I'm making. I take on businesses that already have an established strategy. They don't have to be $1 billion company. Yeah. But they already have to be delivering value clearly in a set package against a very particular audience. Yeah. If that's the case, easy to multiply. Because all you're doing with the short form video, dollar a day ads, all you're doing is you're multiplying something that's already working. That's it. Yep. We're not trying to come up with something. If we're trying to come up with something new, now you're basically an entrepreneur with them. You're basically, even though you're being treated as an agency, you're basically you're like a partner. You're a fellow entrepreneur inside their business, and you don't want to do that. Okay. Right. See what I mean? Like you're like a stakeholder in their company. Like I don't want to be a co-founder with them. I don't want to try to figure out what's working. Take
Yeah.
companies where it's already working. Take someone who's already doing $5 million, take them to $10 million. Don't take someone from $5,000 to $10,000. Or worse, someone who doesn't even have any money. And that they're counting on you to be a magical unicorn.
Mm-hmm. 100%. 100%. Like, again, biggest issue I've had was you're taking on anybody and anybody that's willing to pay me because it's hungry for business at the beginning. And then it's just churn and burn because it's people that are giving me their last $1,000, $1,500, $2,000 and basically just
We're desperate.
He can make me money, make the business work. And I'm just being, they're willing to pay me. I'm going to do the best job I can. Obviously, I don't build their business for them. It doesn't work. My best clients are the ones that have their business together, genuinely making money, have their strategy, like everything you mentioned. Everything's just so much more seamless for both parties involved.
Your issue is not your competency in being able to do short form video. It's in your client selection.
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't have any clients, the temptation is, well, I'll just take on anybody. And then that just puts you into this quicksand, like I told you with the empathy firm,
Yep.
where they can't get out of that thing because they just keep taking on random clients.
Yep.
All they do is they dig their hole deeper.
Yep. Exactly. Exactly.
I've just been really lucky because I've started working on companies that are doing really well. So, like, why wouldn't you rather play on a winning team? The winning team is winning. They're making more money. They treat you better. And I've heard other people, they scorn at what I say, and they'll say, yeah, but I'd like to help the small businesses. Or, even worse, on their website, they say, we take on clients of any size, of any budgets, large or small. We'll take you on because we care for everybody.
Yeah.
I can guarantee you they're not making any money. Their clients aren't making any money, and I guarantee you that agency's not making any money.
Yep. 100% agree.
The last thing you want to do is say, because imagine if I told you, let's say, Keigan, you had this heart condition, and you came to me, and I'm a heart doctor, and I'm the cheapest heart doctor. Would you want to go with me?
No,
but I'm the cheapest heart doctor. No, I'll take on anybody.
That's concerning right there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to keep, got to pay my rent this week at my medical office. So I need like 3 more patients. I don't care if they die or not. I just need to pay my rent.
Bringing me on for a 15-minute discovery call on heart surgery.
Yeah, money back guarantee if you die. There's no risk. Money back guarantee. It's great. That's why money back guarantees don't actually work. Because when it's your baby, when it's your heart, it's not about the money back guarantee. The money back guarantee, all that does is put into someone's mind the fact that you think you're probably going to mess this thing up.
Mm-hmm.
We never have any guarantees because we're not going to mess this thing up.
Yep.
Now, can you imagine, like, you go to a doctor and, he looks like a doctor because he's wearing a white lab coat and has a stethoscope around the neck. And you're talking about a health condition that you have. And before you even start going into all the details of like what your health condition is, he's like, well, let's just talk about like what would happen if you die. Well, and here you could die like this way, you could die this way. I could also like accidentally cut you this way, and I could mess things up like that. And, like, how would you feel?
Yeah, terrified.
Yeah, so that's why you don't talk about guarantees and these other things. Not for services, for products, yeah. You go to the Mexican restaurant and you didn't have a good meal, they give you your money back. That's less risk. But when you're working on someone's business, they don't want to hear about how you're going to fail. I understand how guarantees in other businesses seem to reduce risk, but not in service businesses. No refunds.
Yep. No, me personally, I've never offered a guarantee of anything because it just sounds like the worst idea. Like you mentioned, it just puts that, like you said, basically you could die this way, this way, this way. It's just psychologically, it just puts it in the back of their mind that this guy has no idea what he's talking about, that he's basically like, I'm his first customer or his only customer if he has to offer this guarantee.
Yeah, I'm worried that you can't deliver if you have to mention that.
Awesome. So you're still chilling in the Apple store.
Yeah, it's great. I love it.
I see people walking behind, funny, they're giving you looks.
Yeah, they're trying to buy, iPhone cases and whatever they're doing. Yeah, you have people walking behind you, but you have the background blur on. Your parents
Exactly.
or whatever walking behind you.
I moved the desk and the computer and everything.
But you upgraded, so you're out of the basement.
I know. We're renovating the upstairs, so I mean it's finally done.
Okay.
Yeah, which is the good thing. Less depressing up here.
Cool.
Yeah. Okay. I got to get going pretty soon. I have to go do a personal commitment, but as always, thank you. You always give me way too much information and way too much value. I feel like I need a way to repay you.
Well, do what you do. This is your podcast, Keigan. So chop it up.
Yep.
And you can put out the little snippets, or you can just put out the whole thing. I think the whole thing is even better. Like why even process it? Over processed food is hot dogs. Who wants to eat hot dogs?
Yep. No, I'm putting this entire thing up on YouTube just raw, and then obviously just gonna do a couple little clips, get the team to go through that, and go from there.